back to my channel. It's your girl Kim, and today's video, we already just gonna address the elephant in the room. If this is not your first time here, then you probably noticed that my hair is different. But I just recreated a Jackie Aina look, so you know I had to pull out a good old trusty wig-a-roo to go with it. And also I'm about to perm my hair in 2 weeks, and I really just don't want to be in my hair at all, and I didn't want to come on this camera looking busted. But anyway, so this video is going to be geared towards the gentleman. It's to help you guys out a little bit, you know, give you some tips on how to impress your lady, your shorty. If there's a girl at work, at the office, or some shorty at your school, or just a girl that you just met or something that you're trying to impress, or probably even somebody you've been talking to for quite a while and you're just wondering why the relationship isn't moving any further, why she seems like she's just not feeling you. And just to give y'all a little bit of tips, because I feel like guys are always complaining and saying that females don't know what they want and that they can never please their girl, or that just acting like females are just so difficult to understand and that we cannot be pleased. And I'm here to tell you, alright, it might be a little bit true, but I'm also here to tell you though that you can come very, very close to achieving that. Okay? I'm gonna share these little gems with you guys for free. So before you go ahead and sit here and steal all my ideas to go wow that girl, I'm gonna need you to subscribe to my channel, because I'm giving out all this information for free. And ladies, if you like what I'm talking about, then you go ahead and subscribe as well. I'm gonna need you to chime in the comments and let these fellas know that I do know what I'm talking about and that you agree with me. If you don't agree, or if you want to add a few more tips as well, go ahead and drop them in the comments box. We're really trying to help these fellas out for 2019. It's about to be a new year, and we're just not trying to have them act like they don't know how to act. You know, like they was raised in a barn or some shit. Like, we need them to start acting right. 2019, it's that year. It's cuffing season. We about to get married. We talking about stand-up gentlemen who's gonna be right for their kids, right for their ladies, treat their mama right, do everything good and proper. So I feel like I'm getting too preachy here. This shit is just touching me to my heart. I almost feel like I could shed a tear. Tip number 1 is a guy who is smart / good at what he does. I put smart at first because, you know, I feel like every girl likes a guy with a little bit of brains. You know, you ain't gotta be a genius or anything, but you also can't just be dumb. And if you're not book smart, this is where good at what he does comes in, because there's not just book smarts. There's guys who probably didn't do too well in school academically, but there's other things that they're interested in that they're good at. You know, that you're excelling in something. Like, there's something that you're good at, that you're knowledgeable about. You just can't be like an empty ass barrel that don't know nothing. Like, we can't talk to you about nothing at all. Like, it's just empty, it's shallow. There's no point of a conversation, because what exactly we're going to talk about if you don't know anything? You don't know what's going on the news. You don't know nothing at all. You don't know how to construct a sentence. I can't text you because you can't spell shit. Like, that's just not cute, gentlemen. And for you men who really is lacking in this department, I would suggest that you take your ass out of these young ladies' inbox on Facebook and go ahead and pick up a book. Reading is fundamental, gentlemen. Like, for real. Like, go ahead and just help us out, and just find something that you're interested in, and just know more about it, please. Thank you. A guy who has goals, who is ambitious and is working towards them. Every female, I feel like, likes a gentleman who just knows what he wants out of life. You know, if I'm talking to you and I'm asking you, alright, so where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'm not supposed to hear no, well, I don't really know. I'm kind of just living day by day type thing, see what happens. Well, you know, I'm just kind of doing this and hoping it works out. Like, no, like, we wanna hear that you have a plan in your head. Even if it's far-fetched and you're a bit of a dreamer, that's fine. Like, we all got dreams, and anything, if you can dream it, then you can achieve it. So ain't nothing really too far-fetched For real, for real. So, you know, just have some goals, have something that you want to work towards. Like, it shouldn't be just all materialistic things. Like, you just feel like, okay, you know, I want to get this fly ass car and this fly gear and just dress up and look real nice, but behind all that, like, there's really nothing. Like, you're just an empty ass person. I also mentioned that you should be working towards these goals, because I did mention them dreamers. There's a lot of guys who are out here really just living it up in a big ass dream, in some fairy tale, living in some la la land, according to my uncle, but just not really being realistic. Like, you have all these dreams, but you're not doing anything at all towards them. Like, you're like, every time a shorty talk to you or approach you, or just anybody at all, you have the perfect answer. You know exactly what it sounds like a pipe dream. It sounds really good. You want a nice house, you want to be married, you want to have 2 kids. You just know exactly what to say, but are you doing anything towards it? 3 is an independent guy / he has his own shit. This for me is a big one, and a lot of these tips I took from like other females as well, but this for me is definitely one of my biggest turn-ons. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm turned off by a guy who, for example, lives with his mom and like be having to drive his brother's car type thing, because we've all been there. Like, we've all dated somebody who still lives with his mom or whatever, and especially like, I'm not like in my late 20s or something. Like, if I was in my late 20s, I think age group definitely matters, because with this, if I'm, for example, in high school, I expect homie to live with his mom, you know? If I'm in my early 20s, I also not really expect him to live with his mom, but if he lives with his mom, like, it's acceptable at that point, because he kind of just like, if he went to college, he's probably just finishing up college, or he just finished up, got student loans or something, just got his first job, and it's just, you know, I don't want him to just run and move out and be broke trying to impress shorties. So if the situation is ideal, then I mean, it's understandable. But a guy in his 30s, I don't know, to me that's a little bit unattractive. It's just like, why are you still at your mom's house? Like, come on now, do you not want your own space? Like, am I supposed to come over to your mama's house and hook up? Like, is that what you expect? No. Like, what's gonna happen if we get married? Like, I could never see myself taking a guy seriously who just has no like intentions of living on his own and just being independent. Like, how are you gonna be able to take care of me, like take care of a family? And I feel like with dating, for me, because everybody looks for different things in a dating relationship, some shorties don't want to settle down either, so they could really care less what you're doing, and as long as you got a good dick game and a good head game, that's good enough. But I'm talking about us females who are looking for probably just a little bit more than that. Or even if we want a side dude, just a side dude that's a little bit more tolerable. You get what I'm saying? So for us females, we typically want a guy who, is trying to do something. You know, like working, got a job. Like, that not having a job shit is some serious shit, yo. Like, it's definitely not cute. I don't know who told y'all that shit was acceptable, to just be getting up every day and just smoking and not doing shit, hanging out with your friends and thinking you should be trying to holler at females. Like, this is not the time in your life where you should be pursuing a relationship. You should definitely be getting yourself together first, and then when you have something to bring to the table, then you should, come on to shorty and be like, I got a job. And I'm not one of those people who's gonna be like, oh, you have to have a 6-figure job. I feel like just anything at all is good as long as you're trying to do it for yourself. Whether it is that you hustling, you got a little hustle, or you're working for somebody, you're working, just whatever, as long as you're not just being a bum and just not doing anything at all. Like, no, like, that's not cute at all. Like, I don't want to hear that we can't go out because you gotta see if your brother is using his car or not, or if your mom's gonna be home. Like, you gonna let me know when your mom's not there so I can slide. Like, I'm not trying to pull up at your crib when your mom's not there type thing, you know, like, that's weird. So we don't need y'all to get that together, because that's just a definite no. Okay? Number 5 is a romantic guy / gentleman. Guy who, you know, knows a little bit of chivalry. A lot of people these days think that chivalry is dead. I definitely say it's dying, but it's not dead. There's plenty of gentlemen out here who know how to treat a lady, who takes us on dates and, you know, will buy you flowers and stuff like that. Also, not every female likes a gentleman, because some females kind of see it as a turn off actually, which is weird. So this tip is kind of like it depends on your shorty. This one, you definitely gotta converse with the young lady that you're seeking to impress. Try to find out what she likes and doesn't like, because this can go either way. Some girls find it just annoying kind of, or just like you're being too much of a nice guy, or you're being a pushover. Like, they can just kind of really construe it differently and just treat you kind of like shit according to that, and just really, which is messed up, ladies. Come on now, don't do that. But yeah, so communicate. But for me personally, I do like a nice romantic guy, but I like a good mix in between. Like, I don't like you to be like romantic all the time, where you're just like super sweet. Like, every time we have a disagreement, you don't want to argue with me, so you're just gonna just let me win type thing. You don't have a backbone, you're not standing up for yourself. Like, I don't like that. But that's kind of just like not manly. Like, I want a manly man who also treats me like a gentleman. Yes. No! What the hell am I saying? Treats me like a gentleman. Treats me like a lady. Treat me nice. You know, if I've had a long day, I want you to give me a foot rub. I want you to give me a massage. I want you to draw me a bath sometimes, you know? I should be able to come home to flowers every here and there, you know, every now and then. Cook me dinner. Cute little stuff like that. Take me on a date. And it's not expensive, gentlemen. Let me mention this again. It don't cost a damn thing to be a gentleman. Just being polite, just listening to your lady when she speaks, just being considerate, just being honest, like all those things to me is what makes a nice, proper gentleman that is worth bagging. And yes, that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Okay? 6, a non-cheating ass, non-lying, non-sneaky, focus on his girl, not out here dotting and being a hoe ass dude. Okay? Yeah. I don't even really think I need to explain that one too much, but just in case you missed it, or in case like your mama didn't raise you right or something, like you had them relatives that was telling you that that's the cool thing to do, to be out here being a slut, a man hoe. Let me tell you otherwise. We don't like that shit. If your shorty don't mind you just being out here slinging your dick all around the place, then she's probably popping that cooch everywhere as well. Because I don't know no shorty who's holding it down for her man, who is cool with him just being out here giving out the goods. Like, for one, that shit's not safe. I don't want no guy who I have to worry about where he was last night, if he's sleeping with other females. That shit will have you fucked up in the game. That shit will have you catching diseases and all types of shit. Like, that's the last thing that I'm trying to do. Definitely. And I know a lot of females, we just don't want to deal with that stress, okay? Life itself is stressful. The last thing I want to be worrying about is your PB. Like, hell no. And if you're just not ready to be in a committed relationship, then I feel like you should just communicate that, you know, of course, in the dating phase, well, I don't expect my man to be seeing anybody, honestly, but it's more acceptable during that phase to be seeing other people. But you should definitely communicate that with your partner. Listen, we're not exclusive, so we can know to, you know, use protection. Definitely get tested together when you definitely decide to settle down, so you can know what you're working with. And once you make that commitment, gentlemen, just understand what a commitment is, and don't be stressing your lady out, and don't be bringing home no diseases or no unwanted babies from no body that you got pregnant on the side. Like, that shit is stressful as a motherfucker, and I'm not speaking from experience, just saying. Ooh. But yeah, so wrap it up, guys. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that, please. Don't be having your girls looking stupid. 6, a guy who is close to God. This is definitely a tip that I got from somebody else, and this is definitely one of those relative tips, because some females don't even believe in a God or whatever, but some do, so it definitely depends. But I mean, I kind of agree. I want a guy who at least believes in God. Like, you don't have to be like a frequent church goer or so on and so forth, but you can't be like opposed to the thought at all. Like, that's crazy to me. It's like, okay, like, you don't believe in nothing at all? Like, that's crazy. You don't have to believe in Jesus, but you don't believe in nothing at all. You just believe, like, what do you believe? Like, it's crazy to me. But to each your own, so I'm not gonna say anything too much about that, but I just decided to throw it out there because a young lady mentioned that it was important for her. A man who treats his mother with respect. I'm sure you've heard this one before, but most times you can tell how a guy is gonna treat you in a relationship according to how he treats his mom and like his sisters and so on and so forth. If he's just like really disrespectful, like, he's definitely not gonna treat you with respect. Like, a man treats his mom with the highest respect, and if he don't respect her, girl, you are in for a long rude awakening. It's gonna be so stressful. He's going to be such a piece of shit to you, and you just don't want to waste your energy on that. So really be careful how you're choosing these guys. Guys, be respectful to your parents. Please don't think that your shorty finds it cute. And if she finds it cute that you disrespect your mom, it's probably because it's the type of shorty that you're with. She probably ain't got no respect for her damn self either, because if she does, she definitely will not find it cute you talking to your mom crazy or hanging up on her or just being just rude. Like, nobody likes that shit. Like, that shit is so disrespectful, and your mama should probably slap a couple of them teeth right down the back of your throat. Next. Oh, this is a personal tip for me too. A guy who's fit / healthy. And I said / healthy just because for me, I like an athletic build, but I know a lot of females who like a guy with a little bit more meat to his bone type thing. So with that area as well, you definitely want to figure out what the girl likes. Of course, I'm pretty sure she would not be attracted to you if you was not her type in general. So you definitely want to figure that out. If she's not feeling you, you might just want to figure out right then and there if it's an appearance thing or if it's just like your personality traits that you just really don't like, she's just not feeling. But yeah, I like a guy who's fit and just, you know, lean, a little bit more lean, you know. I'm a very small girl in frame, and I just don't feel like I find a guy who's super big attractive, because it's just, I don't know, I feel way too vulnerable for that. I feel like I'm too tiny and I would just be so scared, and I don't know, I'm just so scared. But there's a lot of shorties that I know that really love that teddy bear feel, you know what I'm saying? But I like my guy not too fit though, you know, with just looking too buff and just crazy scary looking. Like, I like it just right down the middle, like average build, just tall, definitely taller than me. That's a good tip, guys. Like, shorties like it when you're at least an inch or so taller than her. Let me just throw in some bonus tips right here. We like a guy who is protective, who's caring, who's considerate, who listens, who's not too argumentative, because then I'ma feel like you trying to be a bitch with me. Like, why are you trying to argue with me every day? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, what do you want, a man or do you want a female? Because you acting like a female yourself if you want to argue with me like that all the time. Like, every time I say something, you got something to say. That's some straight up female tendencies, and I don't like that shit. So cut it out. If you like to argue, if you like you always gotta have the last word, cut that shit out. Cut it out, please. A guy who got a good stroke game, like, for real. That's definitely more on the I'm not even gonna say shallow, because that's very important. Your sex life is definitely very important, and I'm not gonna put it on no back burner and act like it's secondary to any of these other traits. I feel like it's just as important, because for one, if you're looking at something long term, you're gonna want to know that he knows how to please your body. He knows how to make you feel good, and you know, you're not gonna be having thoughts months or years down the line like, damn, like that dude over there is looking real good, like I wonder what he got going on. He look like he really know what he's doing. You know, like another guy is not gonna be able to entice your lady that much if you're pleasing her already. If you're not, she's probably just gonna be just so. And sex actually does like contribute to a lot of like moods and just hormones and stuff like that in a female's body. So if you're not putting it down right, and you notice she always has an attitude, like always has an attitude with you, that's probably what it is. Because a lot of times when females are really acting up and having a whole attitude and shit like that, they just need you to put it down right and just shut up. Like just after that, just shut up and just give it time to work on its own, you know? Because I'm gonna just leave it at that. If you know what you're doing, if you know how to do it in the sheets, then she'll be acting real right. She'll be acting real good. She'll be all over you. Shit, you can have a ton of badass traits and a female will still like fuck with you because you're like just good in bed. So that's definitely a good thing you want to work on. I can't tell you how to work on that because I'm not a guy, and every guy learns in different ways. But if you suck, don't get discouraged. Like from what I've heard, there's definitely ways to improve and to learn and shit like that. Might want to check out Pornhub. Just saying. But yeah, you can definitely improve. You know, there's still hope for you. I think that's it. I'm gonna just wrap it up right there. I probably missed a lot of tips, but as I said, ladies, sound off below. Tell me some other tips that you guys like your man to have, or you know, if you're looking to date a guy, or if you're talking to him, what like really makes you more interested in him, and so on and so forth. I'm also gonna do a video that is like turn-offs. I think that should be pretty interesting, and I think it's gonna be pretty cool to have Beyonce in here do like a male version of this, which is like turn-ons for guys, and have him really speak to us ladies. I feel like it would be really interesting to hear it from a guy's point of view. You know, you want to hear it from the horse's mouth. So I did this for the gents, and he's gonna do one for the ladies. So if you're looking forward to that as well, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Yeah, if you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my uploads, as well as you want to go ahead and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload. If you like this makeup look, if you think I look pretty, if you think I was good company, if you think I gave you some good tips, share this video with a friend so you can help a brother out, please and thank you. Until next time, bye.